process home.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 1140. Hello, it's Mike Matthews broadcasting from Cafe Anyway, located somewhere in Podcastro Valley, Mont. Today, we hear from Benita, the Disgruntled Fiddle Player, the Brewmaster. Plus, we bring you the much-loved segment called Ain't Life Grand, where we find out about something that's really cool, and that's cool with a K. Why not? Oh, Hillary's on stage.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And here, last show I was so pro-Hillary, and now she's talking, I don't even want to listen to her.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Now tell me, is that wrong? I guess I could not be a Hillary delegate, but that's okay because those people I really hate because they shout, they're entitled. They feel entitled to shout in the middle of some politician's speech. And I don't understand that, because the politician is
Mike's Daily Podcast.
maybe giving the speech of their career, of their life, of our history, and they shout all over it.
Mike's
That's what's wrong with America.
Daily
That and BART.
Podcast.
I'm talking Bay Area.
Yeah!
Rapid transit. Particularly the Bayfair BART station. Why, oh why are you the scariest BART station that was ever created? Whenever I go there, it doesn't matter what time of day, there's some crazy tomfoolery going on. It's just great. It's a surreal world you enter when you get to the Bayfair BART. So there's this little area of the Bay, East Bay. It's in like San Leandro, and it's called Bayfair, which is kind of a neat name because you think of a fair. You know, fairs are fun usually, unless you get the swine flu. And there's pigs everywhere. There's the wonderful horses. And there's the pig. And there's Simon Cowell.
You will never, ever, ever have a career in singing.
Maybe not Simon Cowell. But there is an interesting group. The fair is a fun escape in the middle of the summer or somewhere around the summertime. Bayfair, however, is surreal. It's weird. It's scary. Oh, look who just walked in. Speaking of which. Hi, Mom. It's Benita, the rodeo queen. How you doing?
It's a disgruntled fiddle player, tell you what.
What?
Looks like your headphones are broke.
They are. Oh, I haven't told my fork in the road story.
What's that got to do with your headphones, Mike?
Oh, it has a lot to do with my headphones. Disgruntled Fiddle Player. I'm bald, and I'm a shining beacon on a hill. Even when there's no light, my head still shines. And a fork in the road is what happened in yesterday. I didn't even talk about it on the last show. I don't know. I was so excited and reacting about the whole thing with the whole thing. Oh, with Obama speaking and his speech and Bloomberg's speech and Biden's speech. Fun times yesterday. But Hillary's speech, no. I just... Oh, look, Welsh just walked in. She puts me to sleep.
Hello, Mike. I make the root beer and the brewmaster. Oh, boy. Wake up, Mike. Have some root beer.
What the, oh, somebody poured root beer all over me.
Yeah, I did. Why are your headphones broke?
My headphones. Oh, yeah, because when you're doing a podcast... podcasts! You need your headphones, generally, so you can hear yourself, and then that way you can hear your voice and the other voices and sound effects. It's necessary to have. It makes you look cool and radio-esque. What happened was, I was driving to work. I was almost at work, and I was making a left-hand turn in Fremont on a little street called Maori. Yes, Maori. It sounds cool because it rhymes with the Bowery, and that looks really flowery. Your dress looks really flowery, and it's pretty. It's a summertime dress. It's so nice. You can tell I'm waiting to find a sound effect here. Oh yeah, it's nearly night. It's so flowery and beautiful. I'm a little strange. Yeah, I love Maori. Except for the fact that when you make a left turn on it, sometimes you'll drive over a fork, and that gets, causes damage to your tire. And next thing you know, you've got air escaping. And luckily, I was so lucky, so freaking lucky, because there was my tire dealer was just down the street. So I stopped there, and he looked, and he said, "Yeah, that's a fork." And I go, "Oh, fork in the road, ah ha ha," and he didn't get it, or it wasn't funny. And I'm old to come up with dumb jokes like that, but whatever. That's just how my life is. You have to find the humor in things, or you're going to cry all the time. And who wants to be around a wet blanket? Am I right? A wet blanket is a bad idea. Talk like Ron Burgundy now. I hate wet blankets.
I have many leather-bound books, and my apartment smells of rich mahogany.
That's right. That's fun. Hey, so I have this little scene from the second Ron Burgundy movie, and it's when he meets his director, his producer of his newscast, and it's like the first woman news producer. Oh no, that's not the surprising thing. It's that she's black. And Ron Burgundy says the following:
Black. You're black.
Jesus, just stop, Ron.
I'm terribly sorry. I don't know why I can't stop saying black. The word black.
Hello, Mr. Burgundy.
Black.
Stop.
Black.
Stop saying black.
Black. If I don't say it, I'll pass out.
And that was the funniest part of that movie. I guess my point is that forks have a point, and they put a hole through your tire, and that's about it. And that Bayfair BART, try and get through the Bayfair BART station as quickly as possible, because it's surreal. Or just be prepared for the surreality that you will find there. Maybe indulge in Pokemon Go while you're waiting. But I do love the sound of BART. It is a strange, whirring sound. I was discussing this with Jarrell of the segment Jarrell and the May, and we were discussing about how that is all having to do with the motors, the electric motors, and the vast amount of electricity that's being used. And it's all fascinating stuff. And just the sound, you're walking on a hill. When I'm walking on the hill there in Fairmont Ridge, and I hear it whirring by, there's no sound like it anywhere. Maybe there is a sound like it is, but it totally, when I hear it, it brings me back to the Bay Area. When I didn't live in the Bay Area, and I would come up and visit, I used to love the sound of the BART. People that grow up here, they're so freaking spoiled, and they hear that BART whir, and they don't think it's interesting anymore. And I still think it's interesting, because it's the leap of technology. And to all you Trump supporters that you want to go back to a previous time, you're harking back to a halcyon days. You should then, if you're going to go back to those halcyon days, you should then you're going to have to give up your cell phone, give up your car, give up flying, give up your computer, give up all the things, the technology that has come in the days since your halcyon days. Because if you want to live back there, you got to go whole hog. You got to go whole Taco Bell.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
No, wait, that doesn't make sense. You got to go hog. MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com is the website to find all the things of the past shows, the past podcast pictures, speaking of which.
And here's today's podcast picture.
It is a drawing with me and Floyd the Floorman, who happens to be here right at this moment. Yay. Hi, Mike, this is Floyd the Floorman. It's great to be in your drawing. I did a drawing of you. Yeah, it doesn't doesn't look anything like me. Kinda does. No. Well, I tried. You tried and you failed. What was that? A cow that tried and failed, which is a nursery rhyme that I grew up with. The cow that tried and failed. He tried to jump over the moon, and he turned into a hamburger. It's a wonderful story. You should read it to your children while you're having dinner. Okay, wait, I got sidetracked. Sorry. Got to get the sound effects away from me right now, because I just want to tell you that if you want to help out to support the show, to that kind of thing, there's the Amazon link. Click on that and buy whatever it is you're going to buy on Amazon. That'll help us out. There's also a link to PayPal if you want to donate the show to the show. You'll get a special greeting from all the Cafe Anyway characters. And there's the Disgruntled Fiddle Player.
Hey, I have no idea what's going on.
And Benita. Mark, this has been a great show so far, but I gotta get out of here. Why? Because you freaked me out. I can't wait to listen to Hillary's speech. I turned on Hillary's speech, and all I heard her say was something about screen printing. And I had to turn it off again. She talked about screen printing. And I was not expecting to hear that in a candidate acceptance speech, but whatever. So, finally, there's the podcast pictures that you can find. All the past podcast pictures, past interviews that I've done. They're all there at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. And now, a segment called Ain't Life Grand.
Ain't life grand.
Life is grand because weird things like this still happen that mystify us. Oh, I think I broke my headphones, by the way, when I was walking, because I had to walk from the tire place to my work, because I was like late to work, and I had my headphones in my bag, and somehow I broke them. And they'll never be the same again, and life goes on. Have a look at that dark purple blob on the left there. With those words, scientists aboard the exploration vessel Nautilus uncovered a marine mystery, a small purple orb tucked halfway under a rock off the coast of California. Researchers are so far stumped as to what the colorful, bumpy little ball might be. Their best guess is that it might be a gastropod. That sounds like a podcast that you would do about restaurants. Welcome to the gastropod. Actually, it's a mollusk, such as a snail or slug, that belongs to the class Gastropoda. That's even a better name for a podcast. Welcome to Gastropoda. I'm your host, Sinclair Flavitz. Actually, it's called a plurobranch. Possibly it's a new species. None of the known species of California plurobranch are purple, said Susan Poulton, a spokesperson for the EV Nautilus expeditions. The odd little creature, which unfurled into two lobes once it was brought on board the ship, is about 2 inches across. It was found on July 18th during an EV Nautilus exploration of Arguello Canyon, west of the Channel Islands National Marine Sanctuary, close to where I used to live in Oxnard and Ventura for many years, several decades. There was a live video feed captured by cameras on the remotely operated vehicle Hercules. It showed the muddy ocean floor, 5,301 feet down, as researchers remarked on clams and crabs as they watched. Suddenly, the purple blob caught the scientists' attention. The researchers decided to collect the creature with the rove's suction, briefly fending off a nearby crab. They since have sent the organism to the Harvard Museum of Comparative Zoology for analysis. They also took samples for RNA analysis and plan to conduct a DNA analysis as well. It will take considerable months to confirm if it in fact is a new species. Ain't life grand? It's relatively unusual for the Nautilus stream to discover a completely new species, Poulton said, though they have found organisms that they suspect are unknown to science. It just takes time to confirm that fact. More often, she said, the Nautilus researchers find organisms in areas where no one previously knew the animals lived. It may be that the purple orb is a known gastropod that simply had never been seen in California waters before. The Nautilus is operated by the Ocean Exploration Trust, a nonprofit organization that was founded by oceanographer Robert Ballard. Since May, the vessel has been exploring the eastern Pacific Ocean, starting off Canada's Vancouver Island and working southward. Currently, the vessel is off the coast of Los Angeles, investigating the Southern California continental margin. The research team broadcasts its activities and issues dive alerts on Twitter. You can find links to that at the place where I found this story, which is, and I hate to admit it, Fox News, in their science section, which, of course, harkens back to what I said earlier about conservatives not believing in science, not believing in computers and all that. But somehow, the science wing of Fox News survives and brings us interesting articles like this one. The live video feeds are a boon to the researchers on board because scientists around the country tune in and often call their colleagues on the ship, asking them to go back to collect interesting specimens. It's like sailing with a scientist team of hundreds, said Poulton. Originally, this article was on Live Science, but that would have been impossible to find, and luckily Fox News picked it up. Thank you, Fox News. I hate you. Please, stop saying Jeff Dunham is a genius, please. Yes, he can do, okay, he came up with some interesting characters, and he can do some really good ventriloquisting. But other than that, he's a wacko conservative that he makes you laugh, and it makes you feel really uneasy because he's making you laugh at racist, bigoted things. That's just my opinion. Hey, next show, we're going to, as we go outside a cafe anyway, we're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcast Valley. Next show, we're going to have some great characters like Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley who don't offend anyone. They're not bigoted people. Okay, they are kind of a little bit, but they are, not me. Jeff Dunham's just crazy. To think he's Lena Dunham's dad. What? He's not? I've just been handed a piece of paper. Mike, you are horribly wrong on all counts. Thanks for the clarification, Clarence.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Email Mike now at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!